Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And we're live. JoJo Crypto live once again here on a Monday, January 10th. Thanks everybody for joining me. Joe Malillo, your host, as always, JoJo Crypto. You can follow me on this stream on YouTube. So just go like, subscribe, comment, and share, which you guys know the deal. Put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter. Specifically, you can follow me on Twitter. And our guests today are the Council of Kingz. I mean, dope name. Obviously, you want to be a part of the Council of Kingz. Sounds like something from Game of Thrones. And a little bit like Game of Thrones, land grabbing, but in the metaverse. And so I'm here with Justin and Andrew from the Council of Kingz to talk about their project. And I'm going to show you their website. We're going to show you their Twitter and really get their insight on real estate in the metaverse, which I have talked about a couple of times with my buddy Niall. So I'm so excited. Justin and Andrew, thank you guys for joining me tonight for the stream. And really, thank you very much for all the information you're going to share. Why don't you introduce yourselves to the viewers?
So, I've been in the community and the space, and I'm very familiar with the whole ecosystem of gaming and the concept of play to earn in the metaverse space.
Your concept of gaming in the metaverse space. With that said, what is a great example? What's your favorite game that you consider to be a fan of?
So personally, not metaverse related. I like battle royales, and so I play. Apex Legends is a good one that I'm a big fan of. But in the metaverse, I'm a huge fan of Axie Infinity.
Yeah.
Just because it's changing people's lives. 80% of their user base is in Asia and Africa, where the minimum wage they make like $20 a week. And so playing Axie, they're making $250 to $400 a month.
It's nuts. Wow.
Yeah.
Can you, and so changing people's lives. I mean, we talk about it all the time here on the stream, how this stuff can change your life. Tell me about the project, how you guys met, and what the goal is for Council of Kingz. And I'm going to pull up your screen here. So go ahead.
So the goal is to make something new that the NFT crypto space. As people know, there's a lot of kind of rug pulls. There's a lot of projects that don't have maybe the best intentions for the community in the space. And, estimates say the metaverse is going to be worth $1 trillion in 7 to 8 years, just as a whole, as a market. And so we're just so early. And I think making a project like this where we have NFTs that you buy in and that's your kind of ticket into the kingdom.
Yes.
And these NFTs, they have their own value, but then the value is really tied into this portfolio that we're building. And I love the idea of it, not to kind of pat ourselves on the shoulder, but all these projects, they try and build value in the community, which is a huge, it's super important, but then the actual value of the NFTs are just based on that community. And all it takes is kind of one bad day or one mishap, and the FUD can start and the project can tank. And they don't have anything that's connected to actually hold that value of the project. And so what we're doing, which I don't think many other projects are doing, there might be a couple or a handful, and I congratulate them. We have this project where the actual value is tied into these assets in the metaverse that are super liquid and continue to move up and down with the market. And so people, can try and FUD the project as much as they want or say whatever, but the actual value, is always going to be there in this portfolio that we're building.
Gotcha.
And I think, yeah, it's a super unique kind of concept, and I really hope, it moves with the meta of NFTs and people start, building stuff like this where it benefits people and it's built for the long term.
Okay. Justin, what about you from a perspective of what you're trying to do with the project? And I guess, put it into perspective of what Andrew just said a little bit from your perspective.
I mean, my perspective is simple, right? I've been more into crypto coins versus NFTs. Like I've just started learning NFTs the last 4 to 5 months, which to some people is a lifetime. But real estate, I've been involved in real estate for the last 25 years. And when I started learning about the metaverse, I became extremely bullish. There's so many similarities with real world real estate in virtual real estate. And basically we're utilizing the tools that we have and the experiences that we have in the real world and bringing that into the metaverse. And that's kind of how this project was formed. I love the community aspect of NFTs and how everybody wraps around a project. And I hate when there are so many projects out there that are shit. They're FUD. They're rug pulls.
Yeah.
They're not real. They don't give any real value day one. And that was one of the biggest things that we wanted to make sure that we did. We're contributing 800 ETH from our mint, which is just under 75%, right back into the investment fund to build the portfolio so that our holders actually are able to be rewarded.
Yo, no rugs in this
that
joint.
Starts day one. There's no 5, 6, 12 month roadmap, and you mint out, they get all the money, and then you don't see anything for the next 12 to 18 months. So yeah, that's basically where that's what led me into this world.
So to correct me if I'm wrong, Council of Kings here. If I put it into layman's terms, you all are using the metaverse. You are a metaverse real estate building company. You are building a portfolio of metaverse real estate plots in different, whether it's Decentraland, Sandbox, or whatever, to offer to your community or people who want to buy into your organization.
Yeah, so I can speak on that.
Yeah,
so
expand.
For the first of something, we are the first to do this where we have ERC 721 tokens in forms of NFTs. You're looking at them there. So it's Kingz, custom armor and weapons and thrones and crowns and everything.
Yeah, literally game of tokens.
Yeah, and so we're the first to actually have it in an NFT. Most are doing it very centralized and very corporate, where they have either like a coin or a token or actual stock. And none are doing it this way. There might be some DAOs, but again, it's a token. And so we're differentiated that way, and people can buy into the project by buying an NFT, and then they don't just have to rely on the actual asset of the portfolio. They can rely on the NFT itself if they get a rare, or if they get just a cool one that they connect with. So it's connecting to the project on not just the level of, okay, we're building in the metaverse and we're going to have this amazing journey over the next 10 years. It's, this is really cool art, and it goes along with the whole community, and I get to be a king. And then another cool kind of gimmicky thing, we're giving people who mint 5 kings or reach kind of the max level in the Discord, we buy a lordship proclamation plot. So you buy a plot of land in a certain place in Scotland. There's a website that we're kind of working with to purchase from, and so we get the name or alias of the people who are eligible, and we purchase it for them, turn it into an NFT, and then we send it to them, and they can kind of print it out and then hang it up, and it's an actual form. And so our community is going to be full of actual royalty,
freaking lords.
Yeah. You'll actually be able to change your name legally to Lord with that proclamation.
Yo,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Were you guys into this kind of fantasy stuff growing up or recently? And I joke about Game of Thrones, but does that have you guys have some influence somewhere about, reading books or comic books or something that, no? Justin's saying no.
No, not me.
Yeah, not really. I mean, it's
a cool story.
There's no NFTs that are Kingz, really.
No, I agree. That's cool.
It kind of goes along with what we're doing. We're gonna be kings in the metaverse. We're taking over land, so we're trying to dominate the metaverse.
So if I buy a King NFT from you guys, right? I'm part of this community. Do I get a plot of land automatically as well in the metaverse?
No. So what you're essentially doing is you're buying an NFT, and we're taking the money from that NFT and allocating it to an investment fund. And then we as a team are going out and obtaining or purchasing these plots of land in the different metaverse worlds based off of the research that we're doing. So smart investment thesis.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then essentially the plan is to rent and lease those lands as well as develop all the lands that we have. So we don't plan on holding the land and doing nothing with it. We plan on developing them. We plan on renting them. We plan on leasing them. We plan on holding events or swap meets and stuff like that. And then all of the profits that come from that is what's going to make up Mars, which is what we're naming it, which is essentially metaverse allocation reward strategy.
Yeah.
So 80% of the profits from all of the things that we do with our investment pools are going to be given back to the holders as a marketing reward, essentially.
Understood. Thanks for explaining that. I apologize for the stupid question. When it comes to doing that, what's been the hardest part about acquiring? What can people? When you talk about the real estate portion of this a little bit for the metaverse. Talk about what you're surprised to have learned over the last couple of years, or just lay it out from a real estate perspective, what it's like to purchase and build your portfolio of metaverse properties.
I think it's a brand new space that's evolving literally every single day. And so we're all learning, but to go from, what we've gained from all of our kind of deep diving into every metaverse and, what people are building and what's going on is people don't know what they have yet. A lot of people just buy just to hold and hope maybe a big company is going to buy them out.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing, because then when the Sandbox or whatever metaverse opens up, it's going to be 80% empty. It's going to look like a deserted world.
Yeah. Nothing's going to be going on.
Yeah.
Like the utility of it isn't real. It becomes, it's just another token to hold.
Yeah. And that's what it's based off of. It's based off this bustling world where thousands and hundreds of thousands of people are going to be in this world traveling through, lands, plots and malls and game centers and roller coaster worlds and amusement parks and everything. But, if you're walking through and it's just nothing left and right, it's not the best look and it's not the most enticing thing to people. And so there is that speculation when you're buying into the space of, is this really a good piece of land? Should I buy next to Bored Ape Yacht Club's plot of land?
Sure. Yeah.
Or should I?
The answer is yes, you should, right? Buy
next to it's very expensive, but no, it's a great idea. I mean, there's a few large plots that are just a no-brainer for the money, and then there's a few that it's a bit more thought that needs to go into it.
Dude, I would have no idea. And I've done this too, where I've dove into Decentraland and looked around. I've also dove into Sandbox a little bit and looked around. One that I really like is the one that, oh my gosh, it's like a half app. Oh my gosh, I know it's a real world. Upland. I like Upland because it's real, because it feels real, right? You're using real maps, real plots, real estate, and you can buy that and sell it and trade it. What do you guys suggest for somebody who's just getting in, who has a bunch of money and maybe wants to throw into a real estate? Do they want to just skip that and invest in your Kingz, or do we want to use it for a specific plot of land, or get some advice here?
So I think there's a lot of ways to go about it. I think for us, it's really we want to onboard as many people as possible, and so we're in a way tokenizing this land, so the normal, regular everyday person can actually get in because it's so expensive to get in. And so,
Yeah.
but if you do have the money, I think the best bet is the Sandbox right now or Decentraland. Those are the main two. Those are the two that they're not going to go to zero in the next year or years from now.
And they
Right.
also have the most amount of liquidity as well. So if you needed to offload it, you could do that rather quickly.
You guys have no qualms about Decentraland or Sandbox going away anytime soon.
No.
Anytime soon being like 3 to 4 years max.
Agreed.
Once some competitors get in this space, that's a whole new world of kind of speculative thinking that you need to get into. But they're here to stay for now, and that's what's important. Just because for now, 3 to 4 years is like decades, and it's and there will be things that happen that we can see it happening in real time,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to see what's going on if there's kind of a sway in people flocking from Decentraland and going to Sandbox, or
Sure.
Sandbox to go to a new kind of world that's coming out, and you'll see it. That's the great thing with blockchain too, and everything that we're in Web3 and this whole ecosystem. You can see every sale, you can see every listing,
Yeah.
you can see everything.
How do you think that real estate in the metaverse is going to change the in real life world for us? Like because we're early guys. I mean, anybody who's watching this stream, you the three of us, we are so early on this stuff. Like it's like the bottom half of the first inning. That's what I keep saying. It's like it hasn't even hit the middle of the inning of the first inning yet. Where do you see this eventually? Take a guess. Take a wild freaking guess. Where is this going to be? Where real world, in real life stuff is happening with the metaverse?
So I think that's when you get into the AR side of things, where you can go to a park and there is huge infrastructure that you can put on a VR headset, and there's a whole world that's kind of built around you in this park. And there's a few metaverses that are doing that now. It's very early, but Apple and Google, I know Google has Google Glasses. They kind of took it away and they're going back into it, and Apple's making their own version.
Sure.
So obviously if they have plans for AR, but there's always going to be real world real estate. It's a finite amount of land, and certain areas will always hold their value. But I think, arcades, no one's going to go to arcades, movie theaters. I don't think people are going to go to movie theaters as much. It's just because the whole experience can be made so unique and just amazingly cool. Instead of just driving to a movie theater and watching a movie, you can be like, you talk 4D, you can be like 20D or whatever it is, you're actually like in the movie,
Yeah.
experiencing the movie. And Disney, they actually just recently announced that they're making a metaverse for Disneyland, and Disney Plus is going to be incorporated in that in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I saw that announcement. What about you, Justin? How do you see the in real life stuff happening for you in your mind?
It's hard for me to fathom. It really is.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
The opportunities and the things that are going to happen are, in my mind, endless and not even communicable right now, or they haven't even been thought up yet.
Sure.
At least in my mind. It's hard for me to answer that.
I think another part of it is the infrastructure isn't even built out yet.
That's right. That's
for
right.
something like that to even think about what the next step is. People are working towards it, but it's way too early for that. Right now we're focused on browser-based metaverse worlds. Console is coming soon. Mobile is kind of out for Axie and some others, but you can't really mobile game like you can mobile game with Minecraft and join servers and all of that.
That's right.
And so that's the next step. And then we're going to get to the VR, and then we're going to get to maybe some more photorealistic browser-based games, and then the VR is going to get to the play to earn aspect, and it's going to take it step by step, but it has to be built. And there's so many worlds that are being built right now that nobody knows about, and then in 2-3 years you're gonna see what's what. And so from that side of things, it's hard to speculate.
If I could take my camera off my computer and bring it downstairs, you'd see my son right now with an Oculus headset on, playing what's called guerrilla tag with his buddies online right now in a
Yes, I'm
metaverse game.
familiar. I am familiar. It's
Yeah.
very dizzy. It makes you very dizzy.
Yeah, and you're always doing this. You're doing like
Yep.
it's just like he's getting ripped. He's 10 years old and he's getting ripped from the metaverse. And he's asking me for money, and I'm like, dude, are you gonna buy an NFT? And he's like, I'm not buying an NFT, Joe. I'm buying something in the metaverse, or I'm buying something in the game. And I was like, dude, that is what a real NFT is you're buying you're using real money to buy internet money so that you can pay internet money for something that you get to have as a character in the game. It's the same thing. And he's like, oh, I get it. And I do a segment on here called Kids in Crypto with Devin, and he sits with me and we go over NFT projects that he thinks are cool. And we just kind of talk about what NFT is because they're the ones figuring it out. In the end, guys, we're old at this point. They're the ones that are going to have to live in this. That this is our idea, but they're going to be living in the metaverse. So I love that explanation, Andrew. Thank you. Justin, I think you're right. Like I can't even fathom. The closest thing I can understand is the Oculus world. That's because I live in it too. I play games with my friends too. So what? I guess if I had the value, right? It's hard to understand the value. I think that's one of the major questions I get on a regular basis. Why do I want to buy this piece of land when? How do you guys determine value from a metaverse real estate standpoint?
So location is key, of course. Specifically in the Sandbox, you want to be next to a spawn point where the most traffic is going to come from. Just the same way, if you put a Facebook ad up, you want to put it to the biggest audience that's relatable to what you're selling.
Or a billboard next to the highway.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same exact thing, except it's just a more interactive, engaging way to advertise to these people. And so that is extremely enticing when you can have, instead of an ad on a Facebook pop-up that people click away and don't think of for the next ever again, you can have a pop-up shop right outside of a spawn point with music and billboards next to it that you can potentially get a free NFT just from looking at it, and then you remember that for the next few months because of that cool experience. And so the possibilities of advertising just infinitely got more. The potential to reach, the audience that you want to reach there's so many more opportunities and possibilities. But, at the same time, like what you were saying with your son, who this is like second nature for him, certain companies, I don't think understand that yet. And a lot of people think it's going to be kind of corporate. And so they're going to kind of advertise and they see, the corporate value in building an office building in the metaverse, which, yeah, of course it'll have value. But the mass adoption and the people who are really going to come in swarms is people like your son and people who have already been in this Web 2 world, which is, Roblox, Minecraft, Oculus right now. And they're all going to come to the metaverse, whether it's Sandbox or Decentraland or any of these new worlds. And so, the value is in knowing that first and foremost, and being able to build to what a 12 to, or even an 8 to 25-year-old is going to want to look at. And so I'm surprised Twitch hasn't got into it yet. But I think Twitch is going to be someone who gets into this space very soon.
Mm-hmm. Justin, do you want to add anything?
No, he nailed it.
You know what? I can tell it when Andrew hits it on the head because I'm sitting here scratching my head too. Hey, listen, one other thing. You guys want to build stuff, right? I mean, that's part of your project. That's part of your roadmap, is to build something in the metaverse on these lands that you're investing in so that you guys can make more money for the community, right? For the Council of Kingz.
Yeah, so we're going to build, we've partnered up with Landbolt already, who's the largest developer in the Sandbox right now. But a lot of our lands, what we're going to do is we're going to build to suit. So again, like I said, we were planning on leasing and renting and doing events and stuff like that on our properties. We don't want to build something that we don't know somebody has use for. Okay. And a lot of times people don't want to spend the money to purchase the land, but they want to be in the metaverse. So they're looking for a lease and they're looking to build. So we're going to allow people to build on our land what they want to use while they're leasing our properties.
Okay. So yeah.
That's essentially, it's a build to suit. It's a build to suit option.
So what's a good idea of building? Like what's a good idea?
Whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but what?
and-
Like, give me. Like this is I know I have ideas. Like I love the like Justin Bieber concert. Like I know you could build a concert venue and you know host Justin Bieber in your land. Like what if somebody came to you with that idea and was like, "Hey, I'm going to build a concert venue."
We would have the land and we would, lease it out to them, and that's not an issue.
That's dope.
But you have to think of, not to give our kind of secret sauce
I was going to
away
say, try to keep it vague, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah. A lot of people have the same idea of what's going to be profitable and what's going to be a good thing to build. And not enough people think about it a little more in depth. And who is going to go where and why, and what area is going to attract who. And that's going to be a key factor in what we build. Not everything is about location in the metaverse. A lot of it is about attracting the right people, whether it's building something that can entice them to go here and not there, and it could be in the corner of the world. But if you build something that has that potential to blow up, it doesn't matter where it is in the world. It can be the worst location possible to some,
like Orlando, Florida in the 1950s.
Right.
Like who wanted to go to the swamp in Florida?
Yeah, exactly.
And now
right.
it's one of the number one or whatever most visited place in the world.
It's also the most valuable property in the world.
Right. Just like next to Walmart in any plaza, right?
Yeah.
That's some of the most valuable land. I mean, it's all about eyeballs. It's all about traffic, just like regular marketing. But but it's so funny because remember, like we just said, we have no idea. We just said, like, what does it even freaking look like? And it's like I feel like we're like everybody's just guessing right now. And like you said, it's like we're putting Web 2 and in real life world 2022, 2021 thought processes into something that's 2030, right? So like, what's it going to evolve to? It's a great, that's why I think it's so much fun. I don't know about you guys, but like for me, that's why it's like so much fun to talk about this stuff because we don't know. And so the possibilities are endless. So it kind of like shows up and you're like, hey, that's a great idea. Let me buy some real estate in the metaverse and you can lease it out from me and you can build whatever you want. So like, that's a great idea, guys. So good on you. Love this. Talk about your community of people. Who's involved in your projects? Like what's going on with the Council of Kingz as a whole?
So we have an amazing team of 13. There's several Bored Ape Yacht Club members, and that they all kind of manage their own business and they're all entrepreneurs, and a couple others have they manage real estate in real life just because that's an important factor.
Some dude surfing on your website.
That's
me.
Justin.
Yeah, I know. Get a Bored Ape, bro. What's going on?
I just grabbed the board, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we have a really good team. People have different roles and different positions in the team, but we all help each other and engage and learn from each other, and trying to build the right connections that are going to help push the project forward. And the people that we look for in the community are people who are new to this space, because we onboard as much as possible, and the newer you are, the better. Honestly, I'm happy to educate 10,000 people that ask the same question 10,000 times. I'll answer it the same way every single time, just because it's so important. It's a new space to everyone. And, so we have new people, and then we have people who know the metaverse is the future. We have people that own land already and see this as a great opportunity to, get invested in all the metaverses and not just one metaverse or two metaverse, because there's going to be a lot. And for one person to look through all of it and decide what's going to be a good purchase, it's honestly impossible. There's so much clutter and there's so much that goes on. We're not on OpenSea yet.
I want to buy it. How do I buy a Council of Kingz, guys? What?
Not yet.
Are you sure? Because this guy says 26 items. Tells me.
Not.
Yeah, I know it's fake, right?
That's fake. Wow.
I didn't even know that was there.
I got to report that.
This is good. See, this is
absolutely fake.
So do not buy this, guys. You just heard it here. Even though we're live, please don't go buy this.
Although zero volume, so that's good. But
yeah.
That's upsetting.
Here, this is how you really should do it. You join their Discord, and I'm sure you guys have an official links page on your Discord.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yep. Yeah. So you're not on OpenSea yet, but you're getting there.
No, not yet.
Yeah,
So
we mint January 24th.
Oh, okay, great. You haven't even minted yet. That's dope.
Nope.
Well, I will be verifying here in a minute. But yeah, continue, Andrew. Sorry, man. I love how many guys. First of all, the fact that you guys are putting your names out there and your faces says like this is straight up real. You know, Justin talked about it earlier that he's a real life real estate investor in the real world, and so this is kind of fitting with what he does. And then you know, Andrew, you are gaming. You know, so
yeah, I would have my webcam. I'm sorry about that.
oh,
but,
I'm not worried about it.
you know, but again, I don't care about that.
Hey,
You know,
whatever.
that's
You're
another thing.
you're a gorilla. What is that? Crypto gorillas?
It's a Galactic Apes.
Damn it.
We're a bit down now, but we'll come back. The team is great. But yeah, no, on the community side of things, it's really unlike any other in the fact that there's people that help everybody else and inform everyone else, and you know it's a tight knit, close group because we're not the biggest
Yeah,
yet.
you're
But
still early.
as soon as another person comes in, everyone says hi. Everyone says welcome, King, welcome to the kingdom, and all of that. And
Well, you're about to do that because I just joined, just got verified. So
but yeah, it's really awesome, and we look for certain people to join the Discord and the program and the project and everything that we do. We don't want people who kind of FOMO or fear missing out into the project, and then we don't want quick flippers and people who don't understand that this is a long-term project that we're building 5 to 10 years down the road. We make it very clear, but there's always going to be people trying to flip and make money, and I don't that's not a bad thing. Everyone, it's a great way to make money in this space, but there's some projects where it's just not necessary, just because of the utility and the goal of what they're trying to build, and that's what we're trying to build. And so we don't shill at all. We don't actively pay for any promotions or ads, and we have it's grassroots
sure.
organic growth. And so the people who are actively looking for metaverse projects and stuff exactly like what we're doing, they find us, and that's exactly who we want to attract. People who are actively interested in what this crazy new metaverse means and what it is, and how can I invest without putting $10,000 into a land,
Yeah,
and then
please.
putting another 5,000 into developing the land.
Yeah, I agree. There definitely needs to be that option because for me, I want to invest in the metaverse in some way, and I do not have $10,000 to throw at a plot of land. So I just don't. I'm got a 1-year-old and a 10-year-old that plays in the metaverse all day. So it'd be nice to be in a project like you guys where my investment is going towards something of that nature. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's why we're building it.
This is dope. What do you guys want? I know you said January 24th. Is that what you said?
January 24th is our pre-sale mint date. Yep.
Great.
And then
So
general sale.
2
general
weeks from
public-
today.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
yep.
exactly.
Awesome.
And general sale will be on the 26th, and our pre-mint or our pre-sale price is 0.13 ETH, and general sale is 0.15 ETH.
Super affordable.
Yep.
Really appreciate that. What are you guys in the next 2 weeks? What are you guys asking for from your community and anybody listening to this now?
We're just trying to spread the word without giving that shill approach. We don't do too many giveaways. We have groups that we kind of post in, and we have the community actively kind of reach out to other projects. And a lot of what we're doing, we're trying to kind of partner with other metaverses. And so we just recently partnered with Portals. They're a Solana based metaverse. They're really, really cool. They just recently partnered with Binance, and then they were on a news website with millions of viewers, and so their project absolutely blew up. They literally doubled overnight.
Here, I'll show the screen.
We're partnered. Yeah, it's really cool. You can actually, I don't know if you can go in the game from their website, but it's cool. You get like your own apartment, and it's like semi photorealistic, and it's so cool.
Dang.
Yeah.
This guy's
Yeah,
a nerd.
The cool thing about Portals is everything's already there. You don't need a developer. You don't need an architect. You can go in and build your room out with or your space out with all the things that they already have, and you can hang up your NFTs, and you can do different things within there to make it your own creative space.
Oh,
So it's an awesome project.
dang, guys, I wish we did this interview like last week and I would have bought into portals. Oh, yeah, see here, this is dope. I get it. So you when you say you partnered with them, what do you mean by that?
So when we partner with Metaverse is we have this fund that we're putting to invest into the Metaverse, and we have allocations of, what goes where, what percent of how much ETH goes to one project, how much ETH goes to, special opportunities, or how much ETH goes to purchasing short-term flips and midterm holds, and what goes to tokens. And so this was kind of in the special opportunity category, where it's not the typical Ethereum-based Metaverse. And so it's typically, we pledge, because that's all we have right now until the mint. We pledge X amount into purchasing, it was a few plots or however many we come to agree with, and then we get their kind of audience to take a look at us, and we promote them, and then we get to do a really cool giveaway, which absolutely blew up. And I think it's every single person that has joined from portals into our Discord has said, wow, this is amazing, I'm so happy that I found this project.
Awesome.
It's really weird, because the NFT community, that some people can be toxic, and toxicity, it kind of runs rampant in groups and projects for mainly no reason.
Well, it's because money's involved. Don't you get that? I mean, that's people can be assholes when money is around.
Yeah, I do understand it, but we haven't had any of that, at all, not once. And I don't know, if that's just a sign of the kind of project we're building, or the kind of people that we're attracting, but I think it's a good sign. And we're trying to partner with long-term metaverse projects, not just any and every kind of metaverse, because there's a lot.
Sure.
Again, just like NFT projects, 90% of the metaverses aren't going to be here, in a couple of years. It might be longer, and they might be trying their best, but it's just what the market wants. And, unfortunately, most of them won't succeed.
Do you think Upland will be around?
I have to do a bit more research on their website right now. It kind of looks like OVR a bit to me. Is AR, or is this VR?
No, it's nothing. It's literally a map. So.
Okay, I'm in New York right now. Let me see this.
Yeah, and they keep releasing new lands, and it's definitely a game, right? I mean, my friend and I are looking at it as like a real estate game, right? Like owning properties, building your property portfolio in the game. When you buy properties, you earn more UP tokens, Upland tokens or UPX tokens. And then you can buy more later on. But it's okay. If you don't know, we don't have to do live reaction right now to freaking Upland. We've done enough talking about Upland on this show. It's just my buddy and I were looking at a piece of property. He's like, I'm going to buy it. He was all in. It's like 1 ETH. He's like, I'm buying it. I'm buying it. I'm buying it. And I'm like, what makes Upland the one to go buy? Like, why not take that ETH and go put it towards something else in Sandbox or Decentraland? You know what I mean?
You wouldn't be able to get anything in Sandbox or Decentraland.
Well, yeah, but or maybe a piece of it with you guys, right? You buy, a couple of Kingz, and now we're talking here. So
yeah, that way it'll work. But I think the floor on Sandbox, last I looked, it was like 11 grand, and it's very comparable in Decentraland as well.
Yeah. Well,
so definitely not cheap, and they go much higher.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. We got about we're just over 38 minutes here, so I go as long as we need. But I do feel like if you want to talk about anything else, why don't you bring up any other important information that people need to know? I think we've covered the project well enough, and I've gotten to know you guys really well now, and I really appreciate your time. And I'm I can see why you have a good community, because you have great vibes coming from you, even in this interview. So
thank you. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're a great host.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, I mean, I guess just talking on the whole topic of Metaverse, I'll drop some kind of a thought bomb here for people. Roblox has around 46 million active unique users every month. and if that's a 4-year-old or a 50-year-old, I can't tell. But they're active and they're in that world where they can buy a flying pony to follow them, and then maybe the pony is out of stock after the next week and people want to trade with you other perceived valuable things. And that people spend so many hours in that world. And then so when you think of the metaverse, it's not a whole new world, it's just an additional layer on top of that previous world. That's kind of like a misconception with Web3 and Web2, where they're like, oh my, Web3 is it's completely new, it's going to take over Web2 and everything. It's just another layer on top of Web2. It's the same thing essentially. It's just added function and utility. And so that's what the metaverse is.
Integrity.
Yeah.
Web3 is integrity of Web2. It's when Web2 has integrity.
Yeah, where people they have actual ownership, and they can everything it's so much more seamless, and,
yes.
and it's accessible to everyone and anyone, and I love that. And so when you're trying to think of the metaverse, don't think of it as this mind-boggling hard concept to try and wrap your head around, because really it's not going to be that crazy of an idea and a concept when it really comes to life and comes to fruition. I mean, people really hope it's like Ready Player One in like 10 years. I think we're at least 10 to 15 years away from that, that would be really cool.
Yes.
But that would be a monopoly of one world for the whole entire world.
That's
right.
That's right.
That's what nobody wants. And so I don't think it'll
completely
look like
the
that.
opposite of decentralized.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, just when you think about the space, don't think of it as this concept that's just, it's impossible to think about and you should just give up and not look into it more. You should absolutely look into it more because you're still super, super early. And just think of it like Roblox, but you can own everything. And, the same people that are playing that game are going to move right on over into the metaverse, and it's going to be a seamless transition because it's really not that different. And that's kind of, something that we're trying to tackle with our project. And I know other kind of metaverse based projects is onboarding as many people as possible, because, Facebook is coming out with Meta, and it's kind of like David versus Goliath in that kind of, when you think about it, they're trying to take away everybody who's in this space, decentralize and all of that, and they're taking them to their corporate utopian metaverse world with billions of dollars put into it.
Yeah, with freaking robot Mark Zuckerberg looking like a freaking weirdo. Nobody's gonna follow him anymore. If we had a choice, which the Web3 gives us a freaking choice, people are gonna choose to follow him or not. And he's a robot, so people aren't going to follow him.
You would think.
Yeah, I know.
You would think.
But it's their damn choice. So if they get to, they get to. Right? If they want to, they want to.
And that's where I see, of a common kind of goal around all the projects that are in this space is everyone knows they need to get as many people as possible into here before Meta comes out and their world comes out, because, it kind of, it'll mess with the whole integrity of what we're trying to do and build here, and it'll slow the progress, I think, a lot. And I don't think what they're going to do it's all going to be Facebook IP. There's going to be no actual creativity that's involved into that, and it'll all be kind of corporate setup events and projects. And the great thing about the metaverse and Web3, you can make whatever you want and you can express yourself however you want, and you can build a cool statue museum park if you want, or you can build an art gallery of your favorite indie artist and attract hundreds of people potentially to that and change lives. And you don't have to ask anyone for permission. You don't have to ask robot Mark Zuckerberg for permission to build something that you want to build. And so, you don't have to buy Sandbox either. You can buy a super cheap plot of land in an upcoming metaverse world. And, super cheap is relative to, because everything's kind of in Ethereum, and it's usually like 0.2 plus for land sales. So, it is on the
it's
more
still
expensive
$500.
stuff. Yeah, or 500,000 at least.
Yeah, at least. Well, today it's
land that
500.
you can do whatever you want with.
Right.
So,
I mean, I'm writing a book, right? I'm writing I have a podcast called Infamous Indie, and I'm writing a book. And if I want to put all my stories in audio format in my Decentraland Metaverse plot of land, where you can come in, plug your imaginary headset into my head, and take a tour of these stories, I can do it that way.
Absolutely.
You can do, like you said, you can do whatever you want. And so I think you're right, and I really appreciate your perspective, because that's a really good way to put it. So thank you.
That's all I I spend 20 hours a day kind of just thinking about this stuff, because again, you can't go at it from the typical way of, okay, a lot of people coming here, let me build a museum, or let me build an event hosting arena for people. Everyone's going to do it. And so it takes thinking several hours a day on this concept, and looking at the sentiment of the market, and the new projects that are coming out that people are kind of flocking to really understand what is really going to attract the people to go where and why, and what we need to do to get there before other people do. And that's what we do. So
thank you, Andrew. Justin, any final words here?
Do your research.
Yeah, there it is. I was waiting for somebody to say it.
Yes.
Freaking don't get scammed on your own. Do your own fucking research.
Yeah, even for this, I mean, you've listened to us talk for a while, but again, look at the website, look at all of the graphics in the Discord, and look at everything before you even consider, purchasing and buying. That's the most important thing in this space, because everyone is trying to scam you. I mean, you have to think of it that way. Obviously, not everyone is trying to scam you, but you have to look at it from that point of view, just because, again, it's unregulated. It's like the Wild West right now, and it's important to do your own research. But if you do, you have the potential to find a diamond among, coal and rubble in this whole space of rugs and scams. So,
well, thank you both for joining. I really, again, appreciate your time and energy behind this project. If you guys want to go follow them, their information is on Council of Kingz, along with the other members of their team. You can go to councilofkingz.com to check them out. Also, make sure to click on their Discord. Andrew's got a Twitter. Just, I couldn't find your Twitter right there.
Yeah, I saw that wasn't working. I'll have to get the dev on that. Just make sure Council of Kingz is with a Z, not an S.
That's right. Council of Kingz with a Z, because they're meta. So, it's not just like regular Web 2S shit. It's Council of Kingz with a Z, baby. You guys keep up the effort. Super, super pumped for you to come on this interview and talk to me about this. Everybody, stay tuned tomorrow. We got another interview coming up. It's going to be a pre-recorded one that I did last week, but I'm really excited to have him on. It's another project that I'm hyped about. And you go follow me at Joe Malillo Live on Twitter. You can also follow JoJo Crypto Live at Joe Malillo Live on YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. And until next time, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. See you then.
Appreciate it.
See you guys.
Thanks
again.
All right,
Stay on the Zoom. All right. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna hang out for a minute. All right. Here we go. No, I ran the kids in crypto one. Oh no.
Are you listening?
There we go. See you guys.
Damn.